A cryptid, as defined by the Oxford Dictionary, is an animal whose existence or survival is disputed or unsubstantiated. By definition, cryptids and the subsequent study of cryptozoology are the pursuit of the intangible, the unverified and the unknown. Derived from the Greek krypto, meaning to hide, contemporary folklore as well as pre-industrial cautionary tales are jam-packed with bizarre, strange encounters with creatures who somehow don't fit into our current model of scientific knowledge. Don't get me wrong, it's easy to brush the myriad of wild claims as local yokel hocus pocus, a farmer who drank a few too many coolers and fell asleep in a field, or a dehydrated hiker hallucinating in the mountains. But they can't all be wrong, can they? Is there a little bit more to it? Well, let's find out. Hello horror fans, and once again welcome back to the Scariest channel on YouTube, top 5 scary videos. As always, I'll be your horror host Jack Finch, as today we curiously take a look at the top 5 scary cryptid stories that are allegedly real. Roll the clip. For those of you that don't know, that scene was from 2011's Troll Hunter, written and directed by Andre Øvredal, which is an absolutely awesome Norwegian creature feature, and if you haven't seen it, you should. Kicking off at number 5, The Silver Woman. And this story comes from a police motorway patrol woman from Portsmouth, England, who explains that her career regularly confronts her with situations that are both bizarre and unnerving. But this one kind of takes the cake. On the 25th of November around 6:30 PM during a routine speed camera setup in the Portsmouth city centre, her speed trap began picking up random tracings of non-existent objects in pitch black darkness, hurtling past her vehicle at around 30 to 40 miles per hour. Now, I know what you might be thinking, the device was obviously malfunctioning, but that wasn't the case, and our police officer had already thought of that. She trained the camera manually back onto the road surface to see what had been picked up, and she was shocked to discover that on the screen was what could only be described as humanoid figures running up and down the street at about 40 feet ahead of the vehicle. Strangely enough, they seemed to have a silver appearance to them, almost shimmering and translucent. She looked out of the window and again, nothing was there, but when she looked back at the screen, about 10 feet away from the vehicle was one of the same silvery entities standing motionless, facing away from the van, hulking and breathing in a strange fashion, as if they were weighing up taking on the police officer. What were they? Well, we'll never know, and when she played the tape back for her fellow officers, the silvery entities were nowhere to be seen. Yeah, I've got no clue about this one. Coming in at number 4, the folk monster. Now, Bigfoot is obviously the heavy hitter of the cryptid world. People have devoted their entire lives to hunting down the elusive mountain creature, stretching all the way across the wildlands of North America, as well as similar instances across the planet. But there is one little town in America that seems to be the hotspot for these sightings: Folk, Arkansas, and in 1971 it became the scene of its most terrifying legend. Meet Bobby Ford, a man who vehemently claims he's seen Bigfoot, or a version of it, describing it as 7 feet tall, ridiculously fast and covered in long brown hair. And he saw it up close and personal. It was a Saturday when Bobby and his brother were out hunting a short distance from their rural home when they heard screams in the distance. Bobby's wife, Elizabeth Ford, was frozen in horror when a creature reached through the front window, massive and hairy with glowing red eyes that made no sound except for heavy breathing. When Bobby and his brother ran back to the home, the creature turned and grabbed him as he sprinted up to the porch. It tackled him to the ground with ease and then disappeared into the woodland. The creature had left behind clear tracks in the house and nearby area, 3-toed footprints that matched the deep 3-fingered scratches that were made in the wood of the front porch. Bobby Ford was rushed to hospital and treated for minor wounds and shock, and the family were so terrified by the encounter that they moved out. They'd only lived there a week. That's terrible timing. Next up at number 3, the Greyman of Ben Macdui. Ben Macdui, in Gaelic, Mountain of the Son of Duff, is an awe-inspiring peak of the Scottish Highlands, staking the claim as one of Britain's highest mountains and the highest of the Cairngorms National Park. It's been scaled by countless people throughout history, but there are those that claim that there's something more sinister living out on the mountain. the Greyman of Ben Macdui, and it doesn't like visitors. The creature is said to be at least 20 feet tall, and one eyewitness of the creature's presence, a respected professor and mountain climber named Norman Colley, said that he was first aware of something following him during his ascent after hearing strange footsteps behind him. Alone, isolated on the mountain, something was following him. And it wasn't human. The footsteps were laborious and delayed, as if that whatever was following him was much taller than he was. When he saw it, he described the grey man as vaguely human shaped, brown in hue and fur, and shrouded in a strange grey mist. In 1945, a similar thing happened to a renowned mountain climber named Peter Densham, who described the exact same encounter with the exact same creature. Again in 1958, the Scots magazine wrote of a similar account from naturalist Alexander Tunian, who this time found himself armed with a rifle and fired several rounds into the grey man. He thought he'd hit it, whatever it was, but after trekking over through the snow, found no sign of the creature. It vanished away like fog rolling across a mountain, and the mystery of the Greyman of Ben Macdui remains unsolved. Swinging in at number 2, the Cabbagetown tunnel monster, which is an urban legend from my current stomping grounds of Toronto, Ontario, that is grounded in such bizarre circumstances that it remains a warning not to go wandering through the dark tunnels of downtown Toronto. I'm talking about the path. Ever. Don't go there. In 1978, in the eastern Cabbagetown district of Toronto, a 51-year-old man known as Ernest had a terrifying encounter in the network of tunnels that sprawl beneath the city. He had been out searching the neighborhood for a missing kitten that him and his wife had been raising when he stumbled across a tunnel entrance and decided to explore. After venturing 10 feet into the gloom, Ernest suddenly came across a creature that looked somewhat like a long, thin monkey, around 3 feet in height, with large teeth and covered in grey fur. It had unsettling eyes, he described, that peered out of the darkness in a bright orange hue. Even more unsettling, Ernest claimed that the creature spoke to him. "Go away, go away," it said in a hissing voice before slinking down a tunnel off onto the side. Ernest was reluctant to come forward with his story. He was a respected member of the community and he feared that he'd be ridiculed by his peers, but after being convinced by a friend, he spoke to the Toronto Sun, and a group of journalists and investigators followed him into the same tunnel. Although they didn't see the creature, they did see that the narrow tunnel led to a strange, gloomy chasm that dropped into the unseen sewer system below. And even stranger, they found the maimed, half-eaten carcass of a cat buried loosely beneath the dirt and debris. It permeated the legend of the Cabbagetown tunnel monster, and whatever it was, we may never know for sure. Just stay away. And finally, our number 1 spot, the Jersey Devil. Of course, it has to be perhaps one of the most notorious cryptids of all time, the famed Devil of Jersey, whose origin dates all the way back to when New Jersey was still a British colony. Hundreds upon hundreds of tales have been spawned from the legend of the Jersey Devil, dating from the early 1700s right up to recent times. As the legend goes, Mrs. Jane Leeds came from a poor family who carved out an existence in the bleak pine barrens of Jersey, a rugged place with dense forests, sandy soil and deep swamps. In 1735, Mrs. Leeds discovered that she was pregnant with her 13th child, which is, as they say, unlucky for some. Now, Mrs. Leeds wasn't too keen on giving birth, to say the least, and she claimed to friends and relatives that the devil can take the next one. And that's exactly what he did. When the baby was born, it was monstrous, with a scaly reptilian body, a horse's head, bat's wings, and a long forked tail. He spread his wings, shot up out of the chimney, and soared out across the pine barrens. The legend of the Jersey Devil was born. Now, whatever you think of this cryptid, truth, or urban legend, it's the frequency that the Jersey Devil appears in contemporary folklore that is important. Hundreds of people have reported sightings of a strange bat-like creature with wings and a forked tail, flapping its wings across the pine barrens and cackling into the night. In 1816, Joseph Bonaparte, the brother of Napoleon, reported seeing the creature while hunting game in the woods. In 1840, a respected minister pointed his congregation towards a ghastly creature flapping above his church, and in 1909, literally thousands of people saw the same creature on the same day at the same time at multiple locations. In fact, it got so bad that schools had to close down and people just flat out refused to go outside. And still, to this day, New Jersey natives will warn you to tread carefully in the Pine Barrens. Well, there we have it folks, our top 5 scary cryptid stories. Let us know your thoughts in the comment box down below. Before we depart, let's take a look at some of your more creative comments from over the past few days. Janet Dillingham says, according to my sister-in-law, who is an excellent amateur genealogist, our family is related to the woman who gave birth to the Jersey Devil. So if anyone gets in contact with it, let it know we are having a reunion possibly this summer, and yes, I'm kidding because it freaks me out. Wait, just hold on a minute, Janet. Are you saying that you're kidding about your family being related to Mrs. Leeds, or kidding that you'd invite the Jersey Devil to your family reunion? Or both? Because, well, if the Jersey Devil's getting an invite, I want an invite too. Prangon says, Jack, do you want to be a pet ghost trainer? Well, although that would be a pretty hands-on occupation, I would also be an awesome pet ghost trainer. I could have a ghostly dog like Zero in The Nightmare Before Christmas, and I'd be one step closer to Jack Skellington. Already got the first name right. Jonathan Hyman says, love your videos and also would like to see more Jack and Lucy collaborations. Which is really nice. Me too. But then Das Pink Duck says, I don't know about that. Lucy wants to shiv poor Jack and take over. Lol. Wait. Lucy, what are you doing here? Lucy!
Well, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another scary vid. And until next time, see you later.